David sat quietly on the crowded metro train in Chicago, staring blankly at his phone screen. His conversation with his assistant had just ended badly. "Mark, we keep going in circles," he had said tiredly. "I just need to know where she is now. Please help me find her." The divorce wasn't his choice. Emma had been the one who insisted on ending their marriage. Yet something deep in his heart kept whispering that she was still somewhere in the city, close enough to find if he just kept searching. As a successful tech entrepreneur, David had built an empire worth billions. But none of that money could buy back what he'd lost, his wife and the family they'd planned together. Suddenly, a small, sweet voice interrupted his thoughts. "Excuse me, sir. Can I sit here?" David looked up to see a little girl, maybe 6 or 7 years old, standing before him. She held 2 large grocery bags that seemed far too heavy for her tiny frame. She had a bright smile and a small gap in her front teeth. "Of course," David said, smiling faintly. "Please, sit down." The girl, who introduced herself as Lily, sat down with relief and placed her bags beside her. Even though she was sweating from carrying the heavy load, she looked cheerful. David couldn't help but notice how mature she seemed, the way she moved, the way she spoke, like a wise old soul in a child's body. He looked around, expecting to see her parents nearby, but no one seemed to be watching her. His chest tightened with concern. If Emma and I hadn't divorced, he thought sadly, our child would probably be her age now. Lily noticed the sadness in his eyes. His face carried the same quiet pain she often saw on her mother's face when she thought no one was watching. Then, without warning, Lily began to sing. Her voice was soft but clear, echoing through the train car. It was a beautiful melody about love and longing, about missing someone and wanting them to return. Heads turned throughout the train. Passengers stared in surprise as the little girl continued to sing with her missing tooth and innocent voice. When she finished, the whole car erupted in applause. David, however, sat frozen. His eyes filled with tears. That song, it wasn't just any song. It was their song, the one he used to sing with Emma during happier times. "Hey, mister, why are you crying?" Lily asked, tilting her head curiously. "Didn't you like my song? I saw you looking sad, and my mommy always says when someone is sad, you should sing to make the sadness go away." David chuckled weakly and wiped his tears. "I loved your song. It really helped me. Thank you." "You're welcome," she said proudly. "What's your name?" he asked softly. "I'm Lily," she replied. "What's yours?" "David," he said gently. "Are you alone? Where are your parents?" Lily hesitated, her smile fading a little. "Yes, my mom is sick, but our apartment isn't far. I went to buy food and medicine. Don't worry, I know the way well. I won't get lost." David checked his watch. It was getting late. "You bought so much. Let me help you carry these bags." Lily blinked, thinking, "I don't have money to pay you, mister." David laughed. "You don't have to pay me." Lily giggled. "Okay, but I can give you this." She lifted a small chocolate bar proudly. "I promised my best friend I'd give her one, but I can give you one too when we reach my house. You must work before you get paid." David smiled warmly. "Deal." When the train stopped, they both stepped out into the evening air. David carried the heavy bags while Lily skipped happily beside him, talking non-stop about her day, her friends, and her sick mother. If you're enjoying this story, please hit the like button and share it with your friends. Subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications so you won't miss the next chapter of this emotional journey. What do you think will happen when they reach Lily's home? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Soon they reached a modest apartment building in a quiet neighborhood. "This is it," Lily said proudly, pointing to a door on the second floor. "Come in." David followed quietly, his heart pounding for reasons he couldn't explain. Something about this situation felt strangely familiar. "Mom, I'm home," Lily shouted, then quickly covered her mouth. "Oops. Mama's sick. I forgot to be quiet." David smiled at her innocence. He looked around the small apartment. It wasn't fancy, but it was clean and neat, filled with warmth and love. "Lily," he asked softly, "where's your dad? Is he at work?" Lily shook her head sadly. "I don't have a dad. Mom and Dad separated before I was born. I take care of Mama now." Her words hit David like a punch to the chest. He helped unpack the groceries, trying not to show how shaken he was. "Oh, the chocolate." Lily suddenly remembered. She ran to her bag, tore it open, and handed him one piece. "You helped me, so this is for you." "Thank you, Lily," David said, genuinely touched. Before he could say more, a weak voice came from the bedroom doorway. "Lily, is that you? Honey, where did you go? I've been so worried." Lily turned quickly. "Mama!" she cried and ran toward the door. A frail woman stood there, holding the doorframe for support. She was pale and trembling, clearly very ill. "Mama, are you feeling better?" Lily asked, gently touching her mother's forehead. "Don't worry about me, sweetheart. I'm fine," the woman whispered. But before she could finish her sentence, she collapsed. "Mama!" Lily screamed, shaking her desperately. David's eyes widened as he rushed forward. And in that moment, time seemed to stop. The woman lying on the floor was Emma, his ex-wife. "Sir, please help my mom," Lily cried, tears streaming down her face. David didn't waste a second. He lifted Emma into his arms, his heart pounding as memories came flooding back. "Emma! Oh my God!" he whispered shakily as he laid her on the couch. His hands trembled. He immediately pulled out his phone and called his assistant. "Mark, I found her. I found Emma. But there's no time to celebrate. She's sick. I need a doctor here immediately. I'm sending you the address right now." Within the hour, a private physician arrived and examined Emma. He gave her an injection and left medication with detailed instructions. "She's exhausted and has a severe flu," Dr. Wilson explained. "She needs rest, proper nutrition, and less stress. She should recover with care." After the doctor left, David decided to stay. He couldn't just walk away, not now. He cooked a simple meal for Lily, who watched him with curious eyes. "Wow, you're really good at cooking," Lily said happily as she sat at the small dining table. "Careful, that's still hot," David warned gently, placing a bowl of soup in front of her. Lily smiled and tasted it carefully. This is so good. This is exactly what Mom and I like." As David watched Lily eat, the realization hit him with full force. The way she smiled, her expressions, even the little mannerisms, she looked just like Emma. And she was about the right age. Could Lily be his daughter? His chest tightened. He had spent years searching for Emma, years of regret and sleepless nights. They had married young, but misunderstandings and his obsession with building his company had torn them apart. He had tried everything to find her after she left, but she had vanished completely. And now, by some miracle, he had found her again, through this little angel who sang their song on the subway. "David, are you okay?" Lily asked softly, noticing his glistening eyes. "Don't be sad. Everything will be okay now that you're here to help us." David blinked back tears and smiled. "You're right, Lily. Everything is going to be okay." The next morning, sunlight streamed softly through the small apartment window. Lily was tidying up her mother's room when Emma slowly opened her eyes. "Mom, good morning," Lily shouted joyfully, dropping her cleaning cloth and running to her bedside. She pressed her small hand to Emma's forehead. "No more fever. Are you still in pain?" Emma chuckled weakly and reached out to touch her daughter's cheek. "I'm okay now, sweetheart. Thank you for taking care of me." She pulled Lily into a soft hug. "I'm sorry you had to worry so much. I promise I'll take better care of myself." Lily smiled happily. "I'm fine, Mom. But you should know, Mr. David helped me while you were sleeping. He even called a doctor." And Mom, he makes really nice soup. Emma frowned slightly. David. Who's that? My new friend from the subway, Lily explained proudly. He came yesterday but had to leave for work. He's very kind. You would like him. Emma's heart ached hearing how her little girl had to rely on a stranger. She felt guilty for being so sick that Lily had to manage everything alone. Later that morning, as Emma regained her strength, she insisted on doing light chores. She made soup and tidied the apartment while Lily helped with small tasks. Sweetheart, Emma said as she folded some clothes. Do you think your new friend will come back? I really need to thank him properly. I already paid him, Mom. Lily said proudly. What? Emma asked, startled. You paid him with what? Lily grinned. Chocolate. I gave him 3 extra pieces too. Emma laughed in relief, but her smile faded when she heard a knock at the door. Mom, I'll get it, Lily said eagerly. She ran to the door, hoping it was the man who had helped them. And it was. Mr. David, she cried joyfully, running to hug him. David smiled and handed her a large stuffed teddy bear. I thought you might like this. Thank you. Mom's awake now. Come inside. Before David could respond, Lily grabbed his hand and pulled him into the living room. Just then, Emma came out from the kitchen. She froze instantly, her breath catching in her throat. The man standing in her living room wasn't just any visitor. It was David, her ex-husband. David, she whispered, her voice trembling. Hi, Emma, David said softly, his voice heavy with emotion. Emma straightened herself, trying to sound calm even though her heart was racing. What are you doing here? Please, let's talk before you judge me, David said quietly. He glanced at Lily and smiled. Sweetheart, can you give us a moment? Emma took a deep breath. Lily, go to your room and play with your new bear. Lily looked confused but obeyed, taking her teddy and disappearing down the hallway. Emma went to the kitchen, filled a glass with water, and brought it to David, who was now sitting nervously on the couch. Thanks, he said softly as she handed it to him. Emma's eyes were unreadable. Don't worry, it's not poisoned, she said with a touch of sarcasm. David smiled faintly. That's not what I was thinking. I'm just nervous. There was a long silence before Emma finally spoke. Lily said you came when I was unconscious. I don't know why you showed up after all these years, but thank you. I heard you even brought a doctor. I'll pay you back soon. David looked straight at her. You don't have to pay me, Emma. I've spent years searching for you. I just want to help. I want to make things right. Emma let out a bitter laugh. Make things right. Now. I don't want to argue, David said softly. I just want to be part of Lily's life. Doesn't she deserve a father? Emma froze. Her chest tightened with emotion. What Emma didn't know was that after meeting Lily for the first time, David had quietly arranged for a DNA test. The results had confirmed it. Lily was indeed his daughter. But he wanted to hear the truth from Emma herself. You have every right to see her, Emma said finally, her voice trembling. I never said you don't. But you were gone, David. You left when I needed you most. Still, I won't stop you from seeing her. Just give me a little time to tell her myself. I don't want to shock her. David nodded slowly. I've already missed 6 years of her life. I don't want to miss any more. And whose fault is that? Emma snapped, her voice cracking. David looked down, guilt written all over his face. You're right. It's my fault. I let my business consume me. I let you walk away when I should have fought harder. Please, David, Emma said softly after a pause. Just go for now. I need time to think about how to tell her. David stood up quietly. I understand. Call me when you're ready. He placed his business card gently in her hand and walked toward the door. Only after the door closed did Emma's strength finally break. Her tears fell freely as she sank into the chair, pressing the card to her chest. 4 years, She thought she had buried that part of her heart. But seeing David again, everything came rushing back. The love, the pain, the memories she'd tried so hard to forget. A week later, Emma and David finally agreed it was time to tell Lily the truth. They sat her down together in the living room, both nervous about her reaction. To their surprise, Lily didn't cry or look upset when she learned that David was her father and that her parents had once been married. Maybe it was because she was still young and didn't fully understand the complexity of adult relationships. Or maybe it was because her heart was simply pure and loving. All Lily cared about was that she now had a dad, her very own dad. "Really? You're my daddy?" Lily asked, her eyes wide with wonder. "Yes, sweetheart," David said, kneeling down to her level. "I'm your dad, and I'm so sorry I wasn't there before. But I'm here now, and I'm never leaving again." Lily threw her arms around his neck. "I always wanted a daddy. This is the best day ever." Emma watched them embrace, tears streaming down her face, tears of both joy and pain. Over the following weeks, David became a regular presence in their lives. He would visit after work, bringing groceries, toys, and most importantly, his time and attention. One Saturday, he invited them both to spend the day at his penthouse apartment downtown. "Wow, Dad, your house is huge," Lily exclaimed as they entered the spacious modern apartment with floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the Chicago skyline. "Do you like it?" David asked, smiling. "If you want, we can redecorate your room here however you like." Lily shook her head quickly. "No need, Dad. It's already beautiful." David had prepared a room especially for her, complete with a canopy bed, shelves full of books, and a drawing table by the window. Lily's eyes filled with happy tears. "Before you were born," David said, sitting beside her on the bed, "your mom and I dreamed of giving you a room just like this. Now that you're here, I want to give you everything you deserve." Lily hugged him tightly. "Thank you, Dad. And thank you for being nice to Mom again." David's eyes grew misty. "You're our little miracle, Lily." As the weeks passed, the relationship between David and Emma slowly began to heal. They started with polite conversations about Lily's needs, then gradually moved to longer discussions over coffee while Lily played. One evening, after putting Lily to bed at David's apartment, Emma and David found themselves sitting together on the balcony, looking out at the city lights. "I owe you an apology," Emma said quietly. "I shouldn't have left without giving you a real chance to explain what happened that night." David shook his head. "No, you had every right to be angry. I was never home. I prioritized my work over our marriage. And that woman. I should have been more professional, should have set better boundaries." "That night at your office," Emma said, her voice breaking, "seeing her kiss you, even if you pushed her away, it broke something in me. I couldn't trust anymore." "I know," David said gently. "And I spent years trying to find you, trying to make things right. When I discovered Lily was mine, I realized what I'd truly lost. Not just you, but our family." Emma wiped her tears. "I was pregnant when I left. I was scared and angry, and I didn't know what to do. I thought about telling you so many times, but my pride wouldn't let me. I wanted to prove I could do it alone." "And you did," David said admiringly. "You raised an incredible daughter. But you don't have to do it alone anymore, Emma. I want to be here, for both of you. If you'll let me." Emma looked at him, seeing the sincerity in his eyes. "I want that too," she whispered. "But I'm scared, David. What if we hurt each other again?" David took her hand gently. "Then we'll heal together. We've both grown, both changed. Maybe this is our second chance, the one we were always meant to have." Emma squeezed his hand, feeling hope bloom in her chest for the first time in years. Inside the apartment, Lily peeked through her bedroom door, watching her parents on the balcony. She smiled, clutched her teddy bear, and whispered, "Thank you for bringing my family back together." 3 months had passed since that conversation on the balcony. The transformation in their family dynamic was remarkable. David had scaled back his work commitments, delegating more to his team so he could spend meaningful time with Lily and Emma. They had dinner together several times a week, went to the park on weekends, and slowly rebuilt the connection they'd once shared. One Sunday afternoon, David picked up both Emma and Lily for what he said would be a special family outing. "Where are we going, Dad?" Lily asked excitedly from the back seat. "You'll see," David said with a mysterious smile. They drove to the lakefront and ended up at a beautiful garden pavilion decorated with flowers and twinkling lights. Emma gasped when she realized what was happening. "David, what is all this?" He took her hand and led her to the center of the pavilion, where Lily stood waiting with the biggest grin on her face, holding a bouquet of flowers. "Emma," David began, his voice filled with emotion, "6 years ago, I made the biggest mistake of my life by letting you go. I let work consume me. I didn't fight for us when I should have. But finding you again, meeting our incredible daughter, it showed me what truly matters." He got down on one knee, and Emma's hands flew to her mouth as tears filled her eyes. "I'm not asking you to forget the past or pretend we didn't hurt each other," David continued. "But I'm asking you to build a future with me. Lily deserves to have both her parents together, and more than that, I want to wake up every day knowing I get another chance to love you the way I should have from the beginning." He pulled out a ring, not the old one from their first marriage, but a new one, symbolizing their fresh start. "Emma, will you marry me?" Again. Emma was crying so hard she could barely speak. Lily ran over and hugged her mom's legs, looking up with hopeful eyes. "Please say yes, Mommy. I want us to be a real family." Emma looked at her daughter, then at David, and felt all the walls around her heart finally crumble. "Yes," she whispered through her tears. "Yes, I'll marry you." David stood and pulled her into a kiss while Lily jumped up and down, clapping and cheering. "Yay! Mom and Dad are getting married." The wedding took place 2 months later. It was a small, intimate ceremony held in the same lakefront garden where David had proposed. Emma wore a simple but elegant white dress, and Lily was the flower girl, just as she'd always wanted to be. As they exchanged vows, both Emma and David reflected on the journey that had brought them back together. The pain, the separation, the unexpected reunion on a subway train, all orchestrated by fate and a little girl's innocent song. "I promise to always put our family first," David said, his voice strong and sure. "To never let work come between us again, and to cherish every moment we have together." "I promise to trust you," Emma said, "to communicate instead of running, and to build a life filled with love, forgiveness, and second chances." When they kissed, their friends and family erupted in applause. Lily stood between them, holding both their hands, her smile brighter than the sun. 1 year later, life in their new home was everything they'd hoped for. David had successfully balanced his business with family time. Emma had expanded her small online crafts business into a thriving boutique. And Lily was thriving in school, surrounded by love and stability. One evening, as they sat together on the couch watching Lily draw pictures at the coffee table, Emma leaned against David's shoulder. "Do you ever think about how we got here?" she asked softly. "Every day," David replied, kissing her forehead. "Sometimes I think about that day on the subway, how close I came to never finding you. If Lily hadn't sung that song." "She saved us," Emma said, smiling at their daughter. "Our little miracle." Lily looked up and grinned. "Are you guys being mushy again?" They both laughed. "Come here, you," David said, opening his arms. Lily jumped onto the couch between them, and they wrapped her in a group hug. "I love you both so much," Lily said contentedly. "We love you too, sweetheart," Emma and David said in unison. As the sunset cast golden light through their window, wrapping the family in warmth, they sat together, 3 hearts that had found their way back to each other, proof that love, forgiveness, and faith could overcome anything. The end. From this story, we learn that true love isn't about perfection. It's about forgiveness, patience, and fighting for each other even when it's hard. Sometimes distance and pain teach us what we should have valued all along. Pride can destroy what love built, but humility can rebuild it even stronger. Never let work or other priorities eclipse the people who matter most. And remember, it's never too late for a second chance. If this story touched your heart, please like this video to show your support. Share it with someone who needs to hear about second chances and the power of forgiveness. Subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications so you won't miss more inspiring stories like this one. What lesson resonated most with you? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Your words might inspire someone else who's struggling. Thank you for being part of this journey.